Hi, I'm going to talk to you about the visual hierarchy of information, which is about the order in which a reader processes information on a page. So, if you know or understand what the elements of visual hierarchy are, you can influence how people read your text. So, of course, the goal is to make it as easy as possible. Okay. So, interestingly, in Western culture, we tend to read from left to right, and there's two main patterns that people tend to look at information. One is a Z, and one is an F. And if you think of the Z, it's kind of like how web pages are set up, with the menu up the top, big image in the middle that you scan across down to the bottom bar that also has some information that you need. And an F, if you think about how we align text to the left, um, and read across and back to the left again, you sort of end up with this sort of F pattern. So if you know that, when you set out your text and images, you can help the reader have a good experience. Size is really important when it comes to laying out your information. So the size of your fonts and the size of your images. So generally, if something's important, the size will be bigger. So you're not going to have something less important in a really big font, but you might have your headings in a larger font or your subheadings. And if an image is very important to your text, then that image might be large as well. Okay, what else? Color. So, color can have a huge impact on the way somebody reads a text. So, bright colors attract more attention than sort of more muted tones. But color also has associated meaning. So, for example, looking at this traffic light here, when we see green, we think go. And when we see red, we think stop. There's lots of different associations that we have with different colors. So, making your color choice meaningful is important. This is a pretty good little website to have a look at colour and meaning. Contrast is another important element when you're designing your pages. You can contrast colour, you can contrast scale, so that's size, small things and big things, shapes, images, and fonts. But one thing you've got to be careful with is not using too many fonts. It can get too busy. But contrast really helps the eye move around. Alignment. This is about text and images. I mentioned it before with the Z and the F pattern and how we read. And you could have a line to the left or to the right or center, but you can also use your images to reinforce how you align text on a page. Repetition is important. It helps give some kind of impression to the reader that things are related. So, for example, I've repeated the font and size of all the subheadings in this document, so you know that they're related. It also creates a thing called unity, which is very pleasing to the eye in design. Proximity. This is about putting things close that are related. So if you have a little bit of text that's related to an image, of course you put them near each other, so that makes sense. Um, it's pretty straightforward, but sometimes people make the mistake. White space is really important as well because it gives space for the text and the images to breathe. Your eyes need breathing space too, but it makes the elements on the page more, there's more contrast and they stand out. Texture and style. This is about um, richer images that have more detail or noise will attract your eye more than something flat. So if you're looking at the screen, you might notice your eyes are going more to the rocks. There's more information there for us to process, where this sort of the light orange on the other side, we can read that really quickly, but now we're going back to the textured rock, so you can see how it grabs our attention for a little bit longer. Anyway, they are just a few little things about visual hierarchy that can help you set up really nice documents that people can read really well and easily. So that will help you with whatever document you're creating.